does it feel like you're going around in circles? Like this healing cycle will never end. That you keep going through the same things over and over again, trying to get to the top of the mountain and feeling like it's not even possible. Well, the thing is, we have to trust. Union is actually inevitable if we do the inner work. So if the universe can orchestrate separation until we're ready, then trust that union will happen effortlessly after we do the inner healing. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialize in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing with the journey. The fact that we keep going around and round and round and round again in circles. We think that this is never ending, and it feels like it's never ending. It feels like we're never ever going to get to the top. And it's scary. It leads us to kind of question, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Is there any point? But the reason anything cycles is because you're not learning the lesson, or because you're healing in layers anyway. That's the thing. I think when the frustration comes in, it's because we go through another bout of the same healing. So the more than this minute is probably the biggest one we'll go through, but it keeps resurfacing again and again and again because we're not doing the work, or because there's just more of it to heal, because it's a deep, deep wound. And all of the wounds that we have to heal on this journey are deep wounds. So they resurface because you have to heal the next layer. You know, and I think one of the biggest frustrations for me anyway is we go through so much pain and, you know, trauma when we actually have to resurface things and really release them. But then they come up again and you're like so angry going, I fucking dealt with this shit. I don't want to do it again. But then you're avoiding, you know, and that's the thing with it. Like, you know, we don't see that we're healing layers. Because imagine, right? You've got one of the biggest wounds that you're healing, not just from your past relationships or your childhood, but also from past life as well. And, you know, it's a big, massive fucking wound. You know what I mean? If you wanted to heal it in one go, you wouldn't fucking be able to handle it. You just wouldn't be able to handle it. So we have to take it in steps. So we have to understand that everything that resurfaces is there for its next round of healing, or it's there to remind you not to avoid. But when we're in this energy of things happening again and again, we're trying, you know, I've done this analogy before. It's like we're union is the top of the mountain. We're climbing up this fucking mountain, right? Our fucking hands are bleeding here, keep falling over. But we can't see the top of the mountain because there's clouds in the way. And you're kind of questioning every step you take. You still don't see the fucking top. And you're like, oh my God, am I ever going to get here? Is union ever going to happen? Is this all for nothing? And you know, you think that the clouds are going to dissipate, and then you go through another fucking layer, you know, and it's like, when's it going to stop? But we have to remember that everything we're doing, once we're doing the work, we just have to surrender. And that's one of the hardest things we do, because obviously we're pushing for an outcome. When we're in the frustration energy, the anger energy towards our twin or towards ourselves, we're pushing, we're fighting, we're constantly trying to get to the end. But we're forgetting to enjoy the journey as well. And that's the thing, like, you know, we're pushing to the end. But it's so important to enjoy every step. And I know it's hard to enjoy the steps when you're in the deepest steps of like the dark night of the soul, or you're healing. But, you know, the way I see it with the twin flame journey is like, you know, if you're in a normal relationship and like everything is like done in the first month, the honeymoon period is over in the first month, you're already fucking paying bills by month 2, and it's just, you know, it's boring by month 2, and everything was confined into one moment and you forgot it. It just was fleeting. All those special little moments were fleeting. Whereas with the twin flame journey, it's like that honeymoon period is stretched out, like, so all your little special memories are actually stuff that you can remember anyway. So, you know, it's about enjoying the journey, but it's also about surrendering to it, letting it fucking go. Because the way I see it is, no matter what, you cannot get in the way of divine love. Now, if you don't do the healing, then you can. But if you do the work, and no matter how long the work seems to be taking, it does happen, and it does become effortless. And this is the thing, the analogy I'm getting when you're in union energy, okay? So obviously when we're in, let's say, pre-surrender mode, we're so fixated on how, when, if, all this kind of stuff, that we're actually pushing it a little bit away. But when we surrender, it's literally like you become a magnet for everything you want. And this is the beauty of it. Like, you know, and I think when we get closer to union, the fears change. Because initially the fears are around insecurity, self-worth. Am I good enough? Am I worthy of love? Do I deserve love? Is this ever going to happen? Are they going to choose me? Am I going to choose myself? All of this stuff. But when you get closer to union, the fears become more, they're silly. They're actually silly. You kind of question, how is this ever going to work? Our lives look so different and all this kind of stuff. And, we're on the precipice of union. And you're literally like, it's like, the analogy I keep getting is like you're doing a bungee jump. I haven't done a bungee jump, but you're standing there and you're literally, union is over there. Once you jump, you're in union. But you're on the precipice of union. You're like, I'm so fucking scared. You know what I mean? It's something that you've been fighting for. You've been working so fucking hard for it. So hard. And then you actually do see the top of the mountain and all you have to do is jump over. And literally you're kind of going, oh my God, I'm so stuck. This is when self-sabotage can come in. But what I've realized with union energy is, with separation, the universe is literally in control. You're not in control. You cannot control this. And that's what I'm starting to realize as well. Even when you've done the healing, you can't control this. It's actually out of your hands completely. So, if you're in separation is there for a reason. Separation is preparation. Separation is there for you to heal. So this is divinely orchestrated. The universe is literally putting barriers up left, right, and center because you're both not ready, because you're both doing the inner work. But when you get to the stage where you've done the inner work, and obviously there's more healing to be done in a relationship, but when you've gotten to the stage where you've done enough for union, then you end up in complete fear-based energy. Like your ego comes back in. It's like, how the fuck is this going to happen? How am I going to fit this into my life? How am I going to, how is this going to work? And literally we're standing there ready to jump off the cliff going, I'm too fucking scared. And the universe goes and just pushes you off. And what I mean by that is literally, you cannot delay a union when you've got the work done, because even though the universe might keep you separate, the universe is actually going to push you together as well. They're like, if you want to stand in the way or start to self-sabotage, the universe is like, no, you're ready, you're good now. And that's the funny part of it. Like, we become ready. And we've been wanting to be ready for so long. And then we get there and all these other fears come in. All this other overwhelm comes in. And you're like, oh my God, am I ready? And it turns out, yes, you are. But you just need that final push. And what I see with this union energy as well is nothing can, say for the start of the relationship or the connection, or when you meet the physical, or, whenever. But at the start, when you're still doing the healing, you've got lots of obstacles. Lots of societal things to kind of work through, cultural conditioning, all that kind of stuff that you have to unlearn. You have to overcome maybe age gaps or other kind of family differences, all this kind of stuff. Literally trying to figure out how the fuck is this even possible. But you overcome all the stuff from the ego mind. And there's a lot of external interference. So there'd be people kind of saying, this isn't for you. This isn't, you're crazy. You know what I mean? This doesn't make sense. Like, there's no such thing. And so those kind of things will hold you back. Do you know what I mean? They would plant a seed of doubt and then they would delay you, or, that external interference would just come in and delay things. But this is all obviously a guide to what you need to heal anyway. But when you get into the union energy, actual union energy, nothing can stop this. And that's the energy I'm getting at the minute, is absolutely nothing can stop it. You know what I mean? Even your fears, even your doubts, even if somebody came in now tomorrow and said, this isn't for you, you'd be like, I don't give a shit. Yes, it is. And that's the funny part. Like, that's the energy I'm in at the minute, is like literally all these fears are coming in and all these doubts. And it's like, how's this going to work? What's it going to do? How am I going to do this? And you're like, oh, what am I going to do? But then you're like, you're in this energy of, I don't really give a shit. I don't care. I want this to happen, and I'm going to make sure this happens. And all the fears that, like, say, when you're in separation energy, all those fears are consuming. They really are all consuming. It's like, oh my God, this is never going to work. It's like all of those doubts actually, they linger. You know what I mean? And that's obviously stuff that we need to heal and stuff that we have to understand and whatever, let go of. But when you come into union energy, all the fears come back in, or different fears. And you're just like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It's like literally any doubt that comes in, it's like, I don't give a shit right now. Because you're in the state of letting those walls completely be removed. And that's what it is. Because obviously throughout the journey, our walls are really up high. They're fucking up high. You know what I mean? And, you know, obviously all the healing we do is breaking down those walls, layer by layer by layer, they're coming down. And then towards the end, it's just like the walls just come crashing down and you're like, oh my God, I'm ready. And then all the fears come in again and you're like, oh, I'm not ready. And then the universe goes, yes, you are. So it is. It's literally this confusion energy again. But this is what we do on the twin flame journey, or on a spiritual journey, or an awakening journey, or the growth journey. Is literally you're fucking battling your own mind. It's the ego versus soul. And it's beautiful when you get to the stage where you know which one to listen to, your soul. And so every time the ego comes in, it's like, no, don't even go there. Do you know what I mean? So it's literally like, you know, it's literally like your soul is overpowering, your soul is winning. And like nothing, you know, the movie I watched over the weekend again, it's one of my favourite movies. It's Elemental, you know, the fire and water. You know, they can't be together. It's like, you can't touch them. Oh my God, you're going to die. That's the kind of energy of twin flames. You know what I mean? It's like the whole world is telling you, you can't be with this person. Your family is telling you, you can't be with this person. It's like, don't touch them or you're going to die. And then they touch and then something magical happens and it's like, yay. But like, that's it. Like, no matter what external interference there is, no matter how many people tell you you can't do this, when you're in union energy, it's literally like, yeah, I can. Yeah, I will. Even if the fears come in, you're like literally kind of saying to the universe, I know I'm ready and I'm a little bit scared to jump, so will you push me? Do you know? So it is literally, you're no longer fighting against this. And I think that's the beautiful part of it. Like, you know, and as I said, every fear that comes in now, it's just like, I don't care. I want this to happen. This is going to happen. I'm ready for this to happen. So it's that surrender energy. Surrendering to the inevitable, and that's the beautiful thing. And I actually watched a movie the other day, and the name on the ship of the movie was called Inevitable. Do you know what I mean? And the guy is a Captain Inevitable. It's like everything is inevitable. Union is inevitable. You know what I mean? If you do the inner work, if you overcome the frustration, the anger, that neediness, the pain, if you do that inner work and do that inner healing, you come to a place of surrender, and you literally have to do fucking nothing except, yeah, just believe. That's really it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and it's funny because we're on this spiritual journey, right? Anytime anything spiritual or otherworldly happens, even though I believe it's going to happen, even though I've been manifesting, I'm still going, oh shit, this is real. This stuff works. You know what I mean? So like, you know, I'm at the stage now where all my hard work is paying off. And it's just like, literally, I'm kind of going, like, I suppose we've been in the energy for so long of going, is this shit ever going to work? This is stupid. You know, I keep fucking healing. I can't see the top of the mountain. And then you get into surrender mode. It's like, I don't need to see the top of the mountain. I know it's fucking there. And it's just a really weird energy. But then when everything starts falling into place, you're like, wow, this shit is real. This shit is real. And you're still in this surreal energy of going, I've been fighting for this for so long. I've done all the hard work for so long, but it's here now. And I'm in such a shocked energy. It's like a deer in the headlights energy. You're like, am I really ready? Yes, you are. If you're doing the everyday work, if you're doing that inner healing, if you're going through cycle after cycle, still climbing up that fucking mountain, still bloody knees from every time you fall over, I promise you it does work out. If you trust the process, trust that this hard work is not for nothing. And this is the thing, right? If you're on a spiritual journey or a twin flame journey, because it can be separate, but like, you're not on it for no reason. The universe isn't putting you through this shit to make you heal all these generations of fucking trauma in order to just put you back to where you were. It doesn't work like that. Like, we're ascending, we're going up. You know what I mean? And I think this is one of the hardest things when we're in the depths of the healing to really believe, because like, we've never been here before. There's no fucking map. You know what I mean? We're only presuming the fucking top of the mountain is there. No one really knows if it's there or not when we're in the healing process. But it is. It really is. And, you know, once we just kind of surrender to the fact and get into, like, when we go from separation energy into union energy, you literally kind of go, I know the mountain's there. I don't need the clouds to disappear right now. I'm already up there. You know what I mean? I'm on cloud 9. Do you know? So it's literally just letting go. Surrendering to the fact that this is going to happen. if you do the work. And like, it's quick as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's so amazing how quickly you can get into union energy if you do the inner work, if you stop fighting against it. And that's, I think, what delays us more, is we fight against it. We avoid it. We end up blaming our twin. We end up getting angry with our twin. We're like, why aren't you doing the work? Why aren't you doing the work? If they're not doing the work, then neither are you. And it's just, you're resisting all the time. So literally, like, it's like you're going around in your own circle on the mountain. It's like you're never going to get to the top if you don't actually just push through the work, do the work. And I promise you, like, because I even went from February to July, I was going through a dark night of the soul. I didn't even know it. So I was in the deepest, darkest depths of it. Only recently, like only a few months ago, I was in the frustration energy, that anger energy. And I just had to stop fighting. And I did. I let go. I took a step back and I just did my work. And then after that, when I went into surrender mode, I was just like, oh my God, it's so much lighter. You know what I mean? And I was just like, and when I went into surrender, all the things that I wanted started happening. And I'm like, okay, this is working. This is fucking working. And now I'm gone from surrender into union energy. And it's just like, I'm hearing the word union everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I'm seeing it on television. I'm seeing it. I was in the hairdresser the other day and the woman beside me just kept saying the word union. I'm like, oh, union, yay. And actually one of the hairdressers was from the same town as my twin flame as well. So you're going to get all the signs. And that's another thing actually about signs. When we're in frustration energy, we'll see 111, we'll see 222 or whatever it is. We'll see our twin's name and we're like, rolling our eyes going, yeah, right, it's fucking stupid. I'm not going to ever fight the top of the mountain. But then when you get into union energy, it's like you see all the signs. You're like, woo, yay, we're here. So it does work. As I said, just let the shit go. Let it go. Push through the resistance. Push through your avoidance. Push through the fear that it's not there. I promise you the top of the mountain is there. And I promise you when you get there, you will, you know, as I said, the universe controls separation, but they also control union. So if they're keeping you separate, it's there for a reason. It's there for you to heal. But remember, once you do the work, you don't have to do anything else, because the universe is literally going to push you together whether you want to or not. Even if you're at the top going, oh, I'm so scared. You know what I mean? You will actually be able to, you won't be able to resist it anymore or hold yourself back anymore. You won't be able to go into self-sabotage anymore. There will be no external interference that will get in the way. And your own interference won't get in the way. So trust the process, trust that union is out of your control, but that's a good thing because they bring you together even when you think you're not ready, because you are ready. Once you do the work, you are ready. And then your fears can't get in the way because union is going to happen, because the universe will put you together and make it possible for you to be together. Do you know, because all those fears and things, that the obstacles that got in the way before, they will be removed. They're only there to help you heal. But they disappear when you're in union energy. They really do. Do you know what I mean? So you don't actually have to fight as hard. You're fighting through your healing. So when you get to the stage where you're in surrender and union energy, it's literally like effortless. Obviously, you're still going through stuff. There is going to be continuously healing. I'm not saying you're completely healed, but healing gets easier. All the cycles get shorter. And just easier. And you know, you're so close to the actual, you know, the prize that you're like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Like, and it's really good as well, because normally when I go through a healing cycle, I might go through 3 days of a high or a week of a high, and then I'll go into a crash and I'm like, oh fuck, why didn't I have it yesterday? Do you know what I mean? Whereas now I'm going through the healing cycle immediately and it's over immediately. So then the next phase is actually coming in quicker. So trust that it does get easier. It really does get easier. It's so much easier. It really does. And as I said, everything that you wanted starts to appear in front of your eyes and you're like, oh, this shit works. So keep doing the hard work. I promise you, you're nearly at the top of that mountain. All you have to do is trust the process, do the inner work, and let go and let the universe take control. Because I promise you, it is going to work out. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today, and there's nothing more than to help you on your path. Also, I'm doing a free workshop on November 10th, 6 p.m. Ireland UK time, called Reparent Your Inner Child Workshop. So We do a lot of inner child work. It'll be kind of a repetitive workshop that I probably do monthly or every 6 weeks. So we can do a lot of inner child work together if you're up for that. If you want some information about that, just comment below. Also, I have another channel called Aligning with Angie where I'll be sharing a guided meditation every week. Information for that is in the description box.